Ahoy, morning breathers. Welcome to Monday morning here at our beloved show, The Morning Breath.
Our beloved show.
We have, of course, this morning, we have producer Nikki G.
Ahoy, Skipper.
I just, I have removed the Saint.
There's a lot going on with Nikki's name over there.
That's why I usually like the first thing I see, I like to call you Nikki G, so I get that burn in my head.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes I screw up.
It's okay.
But it wasn't real bad.
We got most of it
I
out.
haven't called you Mike in like a long time.
It's been a long time. It has been. Agreed.
I went through a spell where we had there was Mount Pleasant Mike.
Yep.
Who really does not resemble Matt at all.
Yeah,
But
no.
you both have M's in your name, and
We do.
for a while, you'd just be Mike.
Well, like I've said, I've been called worse than that. So,
Boss Man Matt is with us this morning.
ahoy, Skipper.
Ahoy to you, and ahoy to everybody else. Still dark out.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to get much better. It's supposed to be cloudy today.
Not going to change much. We had a beautiful weekend.
It's gorgeous weekend.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, those are just like treating hats.
Yeah, no kidding.
2 days in a row.
Yep. In the 50s
awesome.
in mid-December, we'll take that every time.
Anytime you like to send it that way, God, please do.
Please do. We'll take it.
Oh boy, lots going on. We could talk sports all day, but we were just before we came on air, we were talking about, I don't know, somebody that started in Muscatine County, causing problems over there, spilled over into our county.
Yeah, I've been to Washington County.
And in Washington County, and got on the interstate in Ainsworth, but got on the southbound lane.
Heading north, right?
Heading north. And made it almost to Riverside.
Yep.
I know when this happened, my wife was going up to Cedar Rapids, and her niece, and I said, hey, you might want to keep your eyes peeled, because, who knows if that person's going to cross over and start heading the wrong way the other direction.
Right.
So she was, and she said, she saw the lights, but by that time the guy had crashed. The person, I don't know who.
It was a girl. It was a woman of some sort. Yeah, apparently, I saw in KCRG and somewhere else on their website, is a woman. They released the name, doesn't mean anything to me.
Both.
So the driver of the other car.
Two drivers killed in the.
Yeah, but apparently she started shooting in Muscatine.
Yeah, just driving around.
Shooting. Did not hurt anybody or hit anybody while shooting in a Muscatine or Muscatine County, I don't know which. Cop chasing her crashed and got some minor injuries from the crash.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, she made it to almost Riverside, whichever way.
Where she was trying to go.
Yep, and then hit head on with somebody.
She had to know she was going the wrong way. You don't know. We can't assume anything.
Can't assume anything. Yeah, clearly there was other issues happening there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot happening there. So anyway, but tragically, the driver of the other car also died.
Geez, this is like the third fatality.
Yeah,
in a week.
More than that, because there's
the third
different crash, right?
So enough is enough.
Enough is enough
For a while.
Yeah, bad deal. But there's a lot of sirens going around about that time of day.
And
in town.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd react. There's be a lot could go wrong if I'm on the interstate and I see a car coming. If I just go the wrong way, because that's the way that car decides to go too, geez, you could just be in a wreck and still try to avoid it.
Yeah, well, and
you never know what's going on in that.
And you don't know how fast they're going. I mean, you can come up on, if somebody's coming, if you're going 70 miles an hour one way and they're coming 100 miles an hour the other way, you're gonna meet up pretty fast. Yeah, your reaction time would be minimal.
Yeah, I told Patty, I said, just be prepared to take a ditch.
Yeah. Clearly,
because I would think that this person would want to stay on the road, but anyway, little interesting.
Yeah,
high-speed chase, and I suppose we'll know more from the Southeast Iowa Union.
We will have something. I'm certain of it.
We'd have an inside track if Alex was still here, because
he's connected.
He had
he had contacts.
He was undercover. He was witness protection. They kind of kept him in the know of stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, while we're talking about the Southeast Iowa Union, the Southeast Iowa Video Network, sponsored by KCTC.
Thank you, Casey.
It's Casey and all the gang over at KCTC. And the Morning Breath crew, the three of us gentlemen, we are sponsored by Hy-Vee and Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh.
Thank you, Willie.
Thanks, Willie. So a little bit of college. Boy, it's probably a good thing John isn't here.
Yeah.
These things would just get him fired up.
Yep.
It's not a good thing. I love John's comments. I love it. He's
passionate.
He lets you know where he's sitting.
He does.
He's not on the fence very often.
He is not.
He's one side or the other.
Exactly.
For sure. But there appears to be a massive carousel of people leaving the Iowa program.
Yeah. Caleb Johnson, I get it, right? But he stuck around to the end of the season. Jamari Harris left with 2 games left, which Kirk had a press conference yesterday and praised Caleb for handling it the correct way.
Okay.
Did not throw Jamari under the bus necessarily, but kind of like, you finished the season. You finished the regular season anyway, right? But
I suppose that's the most you can ask of these young athletes. But I still think we're getting kind of hosed as fans that we don't get Caleb Johnson in the bowl game.
Yeah.
I get it.
For a running back, I mean, you only got so many miles on those tires.
I know.
So I don't have a big problem with
But he's
Caleb.
also making $700,000 roughly, or the team is. Maybe his share is $700,000.
Yeah, I don't know.
Remember that? I was telling you.
Yeah.
The average starting 11 is $700,000.
Yeah. Well, he. I don't know. It's some of these other guys, but you get Jay Higgins 6th year. He's all Big Ten 2 years in a row, and he says, "Damn right, I'm going to be there."
You bet he is. You bet he is.
He says you only get to dress up as a Hawkeye so many times.
That's what I like about the core that we have. Is they're here because they want to be Hawkeyes.
Yep.
It's like the wrestler said, Patrick Kennedy.
Oh yeah.
I'll be here regardless.
Yep. He goes, yep. And if when I'm done, I'll put on my hard hat and go dig ditches or whatever he said.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He's going to stay here.
So it's going to be. I'm going to be sad to see Caleb not perform. But this is the world we live in.
It is.
And I've made it pretty clear how I feel about it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, too, is the bowl games. Look, I'm going to watch. I'm going to cheer. I hope the Hawkeyes win, the whole thing, right? But now with the playoffs, 12-team playoff, the bowl game, it's just an exhibition,
bowl game is
right?
more practice.
It's more practice. Exactly right.
Which is good for any team.
Yes.
This will be great for our new quarterback coming over from Northwestern. I've read that he will be cleared to start.
Yep, he will. They're also pretty sure that the people that I follow, that the Hawkeye insider people, reporters and whatnot, pretty sure we'll end up with a new quarterback through the portal too. Which
this guy out of USC or
well, he's his name's on the list. So is one out of Texas A&M. But I guess there's a bunch of quarterbacks. But you bring in a new quarterback, and does Sullivan say, "Yeah, I'm out," and go somewhere else?
Sullivan's got some talent.
Yeah, he does.
He brings a nice little mix, even though they're not going to want him to run the ball. He brings that threat.
He does. So Jimmy, first one. Jimmy, good for you. First one to catch it. Wow, the bright lights are back.
Jimmy.
We were waiting to see who would notice or say.
It was a test.
It was a test. You win.
You pay good attention, Jimmy.
So the funny one to me is Nebraska had to wait 8 years. They're finally in a bowl game, and they're going to New York, where it's going to be cold.
Yeah. Well, I was in the Pinstripe Bowl.
I know, and it was cold.
Too thrilled about that, but it was colder than snot.
I'm not that I was there. I mean, I was on my couch, but
yeah. I haven't mentioned this to Patty yet. I would consider going down to Memphis or Nashville.
I've never been to Nashville. They say Nashville's a pretty cool place.
It is. It'll be just expensive as crap.
I'm sure.
God, they'll just jack everything up.
Yeah,
because they can.
They'll sell more Busch Light than they've ever sold.
Yeah, for sure. It shouldn't be hard to get a ticket. Nashville's just fun, period. So I haven't talked about that yet, so I might be preemptive. It would be fun to watch it. And Well, I have family down there, even though they're my ex-in-laws. They're Columbia big fans.
Okay. Yeah, Missouri is one of those teams that we should be rivals with, but we don't play.
So we played them 10 or 15 years ago.
The 2010. So yeah supposed to play him in 2020,
and they backed out
because of
COVID.
Yeah,
that's right.
So I don't know. It seems like we should be like bitter rivals.
It'd be fun to have them in the Big Ten, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
They like their spot in the SEC for some reason. That's going to make them better. Did you know I was watching a little bit of the Nebraska, Missouri-Kansas basketball game yesterday? Did you see any of that?
Did not.
So Kansas was ranked number 1 because they won't be now. But Missouri beat them pretty handily. They were ahead most of the game, and then it got close at the end. But Sam Perkins left Iowa and went down there. Is it Sam Perkins, the kid? It might not be Sam, but the Perkins kid.
Okay, yeah, Tony
Perkins, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know he went down there.
I did know that. I didn't pay much attention to what he did when he got there, but
I just thought he graduated.
Nope.
But I was watching Caitlin Clark. I was watching the women. I didn't pay much attention to the guys.
Yep.
But I thought he was a good ball player, and I didn't know he left.
Yep. He left. I did know he went to Missouri, but then I didn't care.
He's a starter.
Well, good for him.
They're pretty good.
Good for him.
They're a little more up tempo, I think. They like. So, all right, what else?
Iowa women lost this Saturday for the first time this year.
Oh, they did. I
played Tennessee, 30 turnovers.
Not going to win games.
Not going to win games with 30 turnovers.
Ouch.
Yeah, apparently I didn't watch it, but Tennessee had a very stifling defense. That's kind of what they were known for, and it worked. 30 turnovers.
That's a bunch.
Yeah.
Jeez.
They got beat by 10, but a lot of that was free throws at the end.
Mm-hmm. Well, so it was kind of close for
30 turnovers. They were remarkably close for 30 turnovers.
Unbelievable. Was that like some kind of challenge?
Well, I think they just played Tennessee. There were 4 teams. Iowa played Tennessee, and UConn and somebody else played also, but they didn't then play a first and second and third and fourth place game. That they just played the one game. And
yeah, that's good for Iowa to play. Those storied traditional programs. Tennessee's been, long time good ball player.
I don't think it's bad to get an early season loss. I mean, they're playing 30 games, so an early season loss kind of reset yourself.
Long way from March.
But 30 turnovers, they got to get that cleaned up.
That was the thing about Kansas. I think they had, they probably had 10 to 15 turnovers the first half.
Yeah.
It was ugly for Kansas, and they came back and made a game of it. Well, what was the Iowa game on? Something I don't have.
No, it was on like Fox or something. Okay. You could have watched it. And the men played sometime too. I can't remember what they did. Oh, they played Michigan on Saturday. I didn't watch any of that.
I watched a little bit of that, and we were getting spanked.
But we only lost by like 2.
And then came back.
Yeah.
And lost by 2, 85-83.
Yeah, I saw the score. I didn't watch the game.
Iowa State's up next for us. That will be a reality check, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Iowa State's pretty damn good.
And that's so you Iowa State fans. I'm already admitting.
Yep.
This is not going to go well.
It's not going to go well for the Hawkeyes
at all.
What do you think about SMU getting in over Alabama into the playoffs?
I think probably SMU deserved it.
I'm torn a little bit. Now, first of all, I'm happy. I'm fine with Alabama setting it home.
Three loss team?
3 losses, and 2 of those losses were bad. I mean, they lost to a bad Oklahoma team. Mm-hmm. I think Vanderbilt was okay, but they lost to Vanderbilt. Mm-hmm. And so they probably should. Now, I don't know if you saw anything. I was watching a little bit of the show where they announced it. The strength of schedule. So the strength, like our Alabama's strength of schedule is like 15th or something, and SMU's is like 60th.
Oh, and
so the Alabama AD or the Sankey, the SEC commissioner, like, you know what? We won't play anybody in the preseason. We'll just play nobodies. We'll play and get it, because if we're only just going on wins and not strength of schedule,
they'll make the changes.
They will. And then, but who suffers for that? We do. We have to watch terrible games, right? So.
Yeah, well, everybody's going to play the game because everything is money driven.
It is. Just throw teams on the field, doesn't matter who it is. You're not going to get marquee matchups because there's no benefit to it if they don't count the strength schedule. And again, I'm okay with SMU getting in and Alabama sitting at home, but there's a strength of schedule argument in there.
There will never be true consensus over this system. Every time they do something different, they tweak it. This is the first year of the 12 team.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be so much better. This is the answer to all of our problems. Guess what?
Yep.
Who would have ever thought Alabama is a 3-loss season?
Well, and that's the counter to that to Alabama is beat Oklahoma and beat Vanderbilt.
Supposed to beat who you're supposed to beat,
and then you don't have any problems.
Yeah.
Beat a 6-6 Oklahoma team. They scored 3 points in that game against Oklahoma. It was 24-3, and Oklahoma's 6-6.
Wow.
So
there's some exciting stuff. SMU made that a game.
Yep.
They're in that whatever conference playoff that was.
ACC, I think.
Georgia was a heck of a game.
I watched that
Texas.
one. I did watch that one. And I watched most of Oregon, Penn State. I thought Oregon was going to blow them out. Penn State hung around better than I thought they would.
I did not get to see that one.
It was like 45-38 or something. I mean, it was a high scoring something.
What do you think of the matchups? It almost looks like a number 2 or a 5 seed.
5 is Texas versus Clemson, and then plays Arizona State. The winner of that, Indiana. 7-10, Indiana, Notre Dame, and then they go play Georgia, whoever the winner is.
I feel like Georgia has an easier path.
Well,
they're going to play a 7-10.
Penn State plays SMU and then Boise State.
Yeah. And
then Georgia if they win. Or Notre Dame. I don't know. I saw somewhere today somebody said Notre Dame was going to, one of the big prognosticators thinks Notre Dame's going to win it all.
Well, I think they're pretty good. But I feel like Georgia has a hand up over. I mean, they could get a 10 seed. It could be Illinois.
Indiana.
Or Indiana, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Notre Dame came live. They won big games, but they also lost to Northern Illinois.
But I would expect, I guess they're expecting Notre Dame to win that, Indiana. I saw his comments.
Signetti.
Yeah, he's a neat guy. He's a neat guy. He gave a good pitch for his team. Doesn't understand why they're a 10 seed other than they're not from Michigan.
Right, exactly. They don't have Michigan in front of their name.
That's right. So we better take a break, Nikki G. We'll be right back, folks.
Introducing Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every meal is a delight. Start your day with our mouthwatering breakfast options and savor flavorful lunches with friends and family. Cap off your day with our delectable dinners. Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every moment is delicious.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics, providing quality health care that puts you first. Whether during a hospital stay, seeing a primary care provider for wellness exams or sick visits, minor surgery to a total joint replacement, or recovering from an injury, we're here when you need us.
More than you expect for your health care. Washington County Hospital and Clinics.
Ahoy, morning breathers. Welcome back to Monday's edition of a little show we call Morning Breath. Yeah, Jeff, you are correct. During the break, I got to turn around and see 3 comments. You are correct. This is something that everybody's going through. This NIL problems and transfer portal. It's tough. I don't know. They're going to have to learn how to. It's when there's a need. Hopefully, there's some kid in the portal that's not happy somewhere else.
People are moving like crazy.
And these, we're second tier in the Big Ten now.
Yep.
So we're gonna have to do the best we can. Hopefully, we can get kids and still mold some of them and grow them.
Well, even that gets harder though because they limited rosters to 105, I think, and Iowa normally carries 125 to 130. So they're gonna have to make cuts. So which is gonna be the walk-on kids, the surprise kids that I was kind of known for. Yeah. They're gonna get left out.
Like our scout team guy.
Yeah, something. So you can't do it. My mom says boo to the transfer portal. It's happening. You can boo it all you want, but it's there.
Martha, wish it was all gone. If everybody just said enough is enough and just quit watching. And the TV guys didn't make any money because nobody's watching.
If you were, and I've texted with you guys a couple times during Iowa games, but if you were on this other text group I'm on, you'd be, why we continue to watch, we just all bitch for 3 hours every Saturday. Even if I was winning, we just start bitching about something. It is kind
of, I liked it. This is one reason I hate replays.
Yep.
I'd rather have an argument with you about a call a referee made.
Yeah.
See it.
But we keep watching every week. We're right back where we were.
I'm watching less and less though, Matt.
Okay.
You have something. We were talking off air just a little bit about something on Netflix.
Something on Netflix. So you remember JonBenet Ramsey?
I do.
I mean, how can you not, right? I mean, that was a huge thing. So there's a 3-part series on Netflix right now.
I saw that.
Re-examining the JonBenet Ramsey thing. So, Nick, do you know about JonBenet Ramsey?
I do not.
Was it 96, I think? 96 or 98. One of those two, I can't remember. 6-year-old girl. They found her dead in her home, but there's a whole thing. And so there's a ransom note. Somebody said, a ransom note said they kidnapped her. They'd bring her back, but as it turns out, she was in the basement. And there was... It
took them a while to find her.
Well,
I can't remember.
A couple hours. But so they went through all that again, and I'd forgotten a lot of stuff too. But she was in the basement, and actually the dad, John Ramsey, found her.
He's still alive.
He's still alive, but he's about the only one. Well, the wife died, the Patsy. Anyway, it's a whole thing. So the cops were there. They were supposedly looking at it as a kidnapping and not a murder at first. And basically, there was one cop in the house with the dad and the mom, and they had friends come over, and the cop was just trying to get him out of the way. So I said, "Why don't you just go search the house again?" Well, so John searched the house again and found the body. The cops did not find the body. He did.
And what are the odds?
Yeah, and so that ended
didn't
up
smell right.
Well, it didn't. It ended up not smelling right. But anyway, before I get too much into it, whether you watched it or not, I mean, I'm curious. Who do you think did it? They haven't caught anybody.
Yeah, nothing's ever been proven. Period.
No, but there's more to that too. This thing's interesting. But who do you think did it?
This is a well-to-do family.
Yes.
So I have a very hard time believing that mom or dad did it.
Yes.
But it is sure weird. I mean, I don't know, the butler. I really don't know who would do it.
So
why would somebody break in and just murder that little girl?
Well, so
jealous dance or a pageant
she was on the pageant circuit. She was in all this stuff, and they interviewed other pageant mothers, and they said, yeah, you can sometimes see some creepy people sitting in the back of the room that really aren't attached to the pageant. Most of the pageant people that are there are parents and grandparents watching these little kids do these pageants. And anyway, so it could be a stalker,
that.
basically.
Could be that.
And-
Also could be a jealous parent that says, I can't
well,
beat this Jean Benet.
So the theory, yeah, it could be that too. That one of the theories that the cop had, I'll get to that in a second, Greta. Greta says the brother. So you had a 9-year-old boy that lived in the house too, her brother.
Oh, I don't think I remember that.
Yeah, and so he was considered for a while. The cop, the main cop from the Boulder Police Department, said that basically Jean Benet wet the bed. Patsy was not having it and got angry and killed her, and then tried to stage all this stuff. You have to watch it. I don't want to. The brother. So
I don't remember a brother, but I'm sure she's there.
again, I don't want to. It's good watch. It's especially if you remember it. But it's the cops basically planted stories in the media to make it look like the parents did it, and they had no evidence to back it up. But the cops were convinced the parents did it.
They had no evidence, and they wanted to blame. They wanted to charge somebody.
And so they leaked to the media, and so by public opinion, the Ramseys were convicted. Absolutely nothing. There's no evidence of any sort that links the parents to that.
That's sweet. Way to go, Boulder Police.
Yeah, and Geraldo did a whole show once where he brought on a fake jury and people not associated with the case at all, and had a trial on his show which convicted them with they had no evidence, they had nothing connected.
Yeah, they wouldn't have any more information than you and I would have.
The lead detective ended up writing a book that said that Patsy Ramsey did it, and so they sued him and the publisher and got a lot of money.
Good for them.
This Burke, who's the brother, CBS did a whole hour documentary that said that Burke did it, the brother did, and he sued him for $750 million.
Did he win that?
He got a settlement, and so of how much, don't know. And they also bring up some other people that, including a couple people that flat out admitted to it, but they couldn't tie him to it specifically. Anyway, it's interesting, especially if you remember that. It brings back a lot of stuff, and it's interesting. After watching this, I don't think there's anybody in the family. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure as an outside person, I think they were tied to this pageant scene.
Mm-hmm. What are they, 1 hour, 2 hour segments?
They're 3 1-hour segments.
Oh, that's doable.
It was an interesting watch. Okay. Just especially because we lived through it. Now, Nikki, I don't know, since you don't remember it from before, I don't know if you'd find it as interesting or not. But anyway,
it's hard to believe that we can't solve a murder like that.
It is not solved. They had DNA evidence, but all kinds of the cops screwed up the investigation, and so the DNA evidence may not be accurate. And so, but all these other people that they're throwing out as names can't link the DNA that they found.
Right.
And not the parents. I mean, it wasn't the parents.
Well, we may never know anything, and those poor parents had to endure being blamed.
Yeah, and yeah, there's lots of layers to it. It's good. It's an interesting watch, especially if you remember it. So
the new Monday morning segment. What are you watching on Netflix?
Yep. What are you watching? What are you watching, Tim?
Diplomat.
The Diplomat.
Season 2 is over. All right, we run long. Let us take a break so we can get set for the day.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Attention Hy-Vee shoppers, introducing Hy-Vee Perks, your ticket to exclusive savings and rewards. Access exclusive perks, prices, earn gas discounts, and unlock special deals. All this for free. Join Hy-Vee Perks today and start saving.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
Celebrate the season at the Mount Pleasant Festival of Lights. With over 180 dazzling light displays, it's the perfect holiday tradition for families, friends, and loved ones. Experience the magic from the comfort of your car, and on select nights, bring the kids to meet Santa himself. Don't miss this enchanting event that brings holiday spirit to life. For directions, dates, times, and ticket info, head to oldthreshers.com. The Mount Pleasant Festival of Lights, where holiday magic comes to life.
Ahoy, Morning Breathers. Welcome back to Monday's edition of the Morning Breath. So we've been all over the gamut.
Yeah, sports and murder mysteries.
Some murder.
And David says, yet another thing to fight about at Christmas. Hopefully we don't fight over John Bonet. But
I mean, all we can do is have a guess.
Yeah, but I think there's some pretty strong opinions about it. It was a lightning rod for a long time. That was on the news for a long time.
And her image is,
yes,
with the big hair, and she was a pageant girl that was plastered everywhere.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you can still immediately picture that little girl because her picture was everywhere, in videos and everything.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Tim.
Let's get set for the day.
We shall. Time, 7:46 a.m. It is the 9th day of December. The temperature right now in Fairfield, 35, Mount Pleasant, 36, and Washington, 35. Partly to mostly cloudy today and into the evening with a high of 53, low of 25, but I think our 50-degree days are about out.
Starts with the 5, though.
Starts with the 5. Tomorrow, I think it's back down in the 30s.
Yeah, but then it goes in the 40s later in the week.
Does it? Okay. I didn't look far enough ahead. Mm-hmm. So...
you only want to get set for one day. You don't want to get set for the whole week.
I'm focused on today. Today is the day. Things to do in Fairfield area. The fourth graders will be holding a holiday concert tonight at 6:30 in the Fairfield High School auditorium. The Mount Pleasant boys basketball team is hosting Notre Dame tonight. JV starts at 6 with the varsity fall around 7:30. And the YMCA will have a grand opening for their new swimming pool on Tuesday with an open house from 4 to 8 p.m.
What?
Refreshments, tours, and prizes.
Finally coming open.
It is.
That? Tomorrow.
The grand opening's tomorrow.
I have not even heard that.
Yes. Oh,
until right now.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm glad I can inform. They've done. There's been a lot of stuff about it.
But if they're on Facebook, then this guy is.
I think I got a mailer in the thing. We've had stories on it. I know. I got a mailer in the mail.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know.
I'm pretty good paper.
I know you are. Maybe it's been a while, but I think we have. Anyway, tomorrow, 4 to 8 p.m., go see the new pool. You can argue. You might win. I may just give up. I don't know.
Don't give up, man.
All right. On this day in 1992,
who am I going to interrupt?
The separation of Prince Charles and Princess Diana was announced.
I can't interrupt Nicky G because he doesn't do much talking.
Yeah. 1992, sad day.
Oh, okay.
Sad day.
By God, it was. I didn't see that in my little, on this day in history.
Yeah, Prince Charles and Princess Diana.
I'll be darned.
Hold on, I have it better.
Everybody knew that was coming, didn't they?
That was not very well kept secret.
Jesus. Charlie, what the hell are you thinking?
So, this morning, or not this morning, but this weekend. This morning it would have been too early. But this weekend, I was walking down the street, and I got hit by a violin.
Ouch.
I know. And then a clarinet.
You gotta be kidding.
I'm not. And then, out of nowhere, a French horn.
Okay.
I think it was an orchestrated attack.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it was premeditated. There's a premeditated orchestrated attack.
If you've never been hit by a French horn, that'll get your attention right now.
Man, especially the bell of that thing. The bell that hits you. That could do some damage.
It could.
You gotta look up more, Matt.
I know, apparently. I should have seen that coming.
Orchestrated attack on Matt. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining today. We have a couple new commenters. Thank you, and welcome for joining. Greta, great to see you chiming in this morning. She's in from time to time.
She is.
She has something to say.
She did. The John Bonet thing it's a thing.
Tore the country apart.
It did.
Okay, thanks for joining, everybody. We will be back tomorrow. Until then, hit your like buttons and share buttons and
like, share, follow
buttons, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great Monday.